Yeah, I'm fired up. So thanks for having me. So what I want to get accomplished here, I'm not going to come at you guys and gals from a, hey, we're doing everything perfect and you guys aren't. So listen up. That's not where I'm coming from. This is going to be a, hey, we are getting really good results. And in the Elite Eight Silver Cup, which is your top six DMs and your top two branches, is based on new business only. Our organization was number 9 in the nation out of 51 divisions last year. And so far this year, we started out at 15, then 12, and now we're number 9 in the nation. And our goal in SOROC is to compete for an Elite Eight Division Silver Cup this year. And look, we know it's going to be challenging, but we definitely feel like we've got the talent to be able to compete. And so, I came from GCK, believe it or not. My former division manager was Dustin Marks. And when Dustin transitioned to opening up IFM over in Dallas, that's when Lloyd Reagan got on the phone, and the top district manager for many, many, many years was Kathy Vasquez at the time, Kathy Kristen now, and then brought her over from the Eastern region to the Southwest region. And so I have a warm heart for this organization, for GCK. For many years was doing the chant, and it's an incredible opportunity that you all have there. I would argue that, geographically, that you guys can compete for a silver cup any year in total business or in the Elite Eight when you're focused and you're doing the right things. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to just go through a top 10 list. And did Kathy send y'all? I asked her to send a copy paste text that has a list of top 10 to this group. Do you guys have that yet? Has Kathy sent that to you via text yet? Not yet. Kathy, can you copy paste and send this to this group? That way they have it. But what I want you to do is just review this list as we go. This is what I'm going to call a checkup from the neck up. So you can jot these down. She will copy paste and send this to you via text. But I'm going to call this the top 10 keys to a kick-ass 2022. And what I challenge you to do at some point this weekend on your own, one-on-one, is to go through this list and literally take pen and paper, take a little scratch pen and paper, and really grade yourself. A, B, C, D. Oh man, I hope we don't have any F's, right, in any of these categories. But, this is one of the things that I preach to our organization in terms of expectations, okay? So look, new business pays the bills, total business buys the house, or in Jacob Kennemore's case, buys the houses, right? Plural. So, but, with that being said, new business is where it starts. And these monthly bonus quotas, these monthly bonus levels, especially in the non-summer, are so low that if you're producing a healthy volume of new business, your monthly bonus, plus if you're eligible for PACE bonus and car bonus, and obviously the checks you're going to make, it's really, really exciting. I don't know if any of you are on the draw program. I don't know if any of you have a draw balance, but, I'm really excited to share that in the Southern Rock Division, we've got 7 district managers plus our pilot. We're adding another DM here in just a couple months, but we have a 0 draw balance. Every single district manager in Southern Rock Division. And this past week, out of our 7 DMs, 5 out of 7 got comma checks for their weekly paycheck. So, one of the things that I'm telling our district managers is that, this is a 6-figure income opportunity. And, you at minimum should be making $1,000 or more a week. And if you're making less than $1,000 a week, then you are underperforming in your opportunity. And I do think you need to check up from the neck up. And if we're just, complacent, getting a $500 weekly draw or a $750 weekly draw or a $1,000 weekly draw, like whatever your draw level is at. If you're on that, like, hey, talk to Kathy, have a 2 or 3 week plan where you can take your draw balance, move it to an advanced balance, cut that shit out, and let's go make some commission. Because this is a results-based business. This is a commission job. So if we've gotten complacent and we're treating the draw like a salary, well, you need to stop, because eventually at a certain number, that does get cut off. And you do go on to something called 75-25. And, you know, by the way, I've had managers do that, and it was the best thing that ever happened to them, because they were forced to work and they were forced to produce, and they got their business back into a healthy place. By the way, one of those people that happened to, Cullen Patrick. He did 40 grand last spring. Now, if you don't know Cullen, he was number 2 in the nation last year, almost won the Silver Cup. Right now, he's number 14 in the nation in the Premier League Silver Cup race. And so, you know, that was a good thing for him. So this is a results-based business. I think we all know that, but, you know, I am here to also give that as a reminder. Now, I'm not bringing this up to be ugly, and I'm not bringing this up to ruffle any feathers, but I told Kathy I was going to mention this because I at least want you to know, because at the end of the day, the black and white numbers, they don't lie. So here's where you guys are at, GCK, so far for this year in terms of PPR, number of recruits that you've launched, and business produced. So right now, there's 51 divisions. So right now, GCK is number 49 out of 51. Now, I'm not looking at Kathy like I'm looking at GCK. This is everybody's team. This is your team. Do you view yourselves as the Houston Texans? I get you have Houston in your territory, but they didn't win many football games, right? So, or do you view yourself as the Kansas City Chiefs or the LA Rams? Right, I think that's who you're going to see in the Super Bowl. Who knows? Maybe Joe Burrow can take them on. He's a winner, so you never know, right? Jimmy G and the 49ers, maybe they got some more magic in them. We'll see. But here's my point is, how do you view yourself and how do you view your division? Because this is not a number 49 division, by the way. And y'all don't rank number 49 in total sales. Y'all have an incredible events team and CSP program. You know, you guys are a powerhouse organization, but in terms of new business and PPR, there is serious low-hanging fruit. Now, here's what those numbers look like. You guys as a division have launched 74 people so far for the campaign, and that has produced 14,135 CPO. So that means that your PPR right now is 191. That means your average rep that you launch is selling less than an average order. You want people saying negative things on the internet? You want people saying negative things on YouTube? You want people talking trash about you and your business and Cutco? Then keep having $190 PPR. Because everybody's going to shout to the mountaintops, it's a scam. Nobody makes money. Because look, right now, the people you're recruiting, they are not selling and they are not making money. And as a district manager looking at that new business volume, hey, I get that you may be producing some CSP business. Last I checked, that you make 5% on that. Last I checked on new business, it starts at 25%. It also impacts your monthly bonus. It also impacts your super bonus. So, you know, we should, if you're only counting on your CSP and events team business, you get your big old campaign bonus at the end of the year, but all that does is catch you up. There's no way you're getting too far ahead when you're not recruiting and you're not shipping new business. That's a fact. I've been doing this 22 years. I know how the money game works. So with that, my goal here is to give you, hey, here's what we're doing. SoRock for the past 6 consecutive campaigns has been in the top 3 in PPR. We were number 2 in the summer. We were number 1 in the fall. We're number 8 right now. I think we've got some good things happening. And this is consistent success. And these are simple things to do. Now, I'm going to give you some goods right now, and then I'll open up for any questions, comments that you may have, and then I'm going to turn it back over to Kathy. So you should have these top 10 keys. So let's talk about them. Number 1, So type this down or write this down, even though you've got the checklist. Number one is your PR program. The reason I want you to write it down is if I cover any of these points and I give some nuggets like, oh, that makes sense, then jot it down. So your PR program, this is number one. I don't know if you realize this, but Southern Rock Division was number one in PRs launched and PR sales in the entire company in the fall campaign out of every division. You know, in this virtual world and social media and this and that, I think we've gotten a little too distracted on these other resources that we're recruiting. But I'm here to tell you, there is nothing more powerful than your PR program in terms of recruiting. They will be your most efficient recruits. And one of the biggest reasons is social proof. Now, if you want to note, you need PRs of people that are doing well, meaning that they sell $500 to $1,000 or more their first weekend on the job. Look, here's the deal. If you're collecting a bunch of names and you're blasting out a bunch of names, but it's of people that have sold $190, your PR program is going to suck. You know why? Because then their friends go to these people and go, what'd you think about it? And they're going to go, oh man, it's hard. Man, I didn't sell shit. You know, yeah, I got $100 paycheck coming, man. Yeah, like I wouldn't do it. So like if your PR program's not where you want it to be, it's because like your people aren't selling. So the reason our PR program works is we're getting PRs of people that are doing well. That's the secret sauce to the PR program. Mark, I don't have anyone doing well. Cool. At some point in your career in 2021, you have had somebody that hit their first promotion. I'm willing to bet on it. Okay. So that means you may need to, in Vector Live, go referred by, drop down, type their name in. This might have been somebody from June, but they still have PR names in your system. You and your staff, you need to get on the phone, give that person a heads up. Hey, just let you know, we're going to call through your PR list. We're just getting rid of the older names in our system, but we're kicking off the new year. Hey, just a reminder, you're still eligible for a bonus if anybody comes in and gets the job, whatever your PR program bonus or contest is, mention they're still eligible for that, even if they're not active, right? So hopefully if somebody reaches out, they'll say the right things. That's why you do that. And then you literally need to just pick up the phone and grind through the names. And if they don't answer, send them a text, something similar to what you do on Conveyor. But like all it takes is one of the right people to get the fire started. You know, put this in your notes for this campaign. This is every campaign, but for this campaign, you need a PR rabbit and a sales rabbit. You need somebody that you're going to launch that's going to have a big first weekend and a big fast start. By the way, I think a big fast start's 3K plus. Obviously 5K, 6K, 8K, 10K fast order. That's exciting, but 3K plus, they're going to make over $500. They're going to hit 2 promotions. They're going to be feeling good about the job, right? And when people feel good about the job, they're going to say the right things. So then when you text and call their PRs, guess what? They actually show up to their interview. They actually show up to training because you have social proof. That's the problem with social media. There's not much, if any, social proof. So what happens is those people get on the internet, get on YouTube, and they get nagged out. And the efficiency on social media is half as good as PRs. That's data. That's a fact. If you think they're the same or in your office they're the same, cool. That just means your PR program sucks. The reality is that social media is big time secondary to PRs. PRs is number one. By the way, social media matters. Social media is important. Social media is number two in terms of your recruiting sources. And then number three should be campus. There is low-hanging fruit here. We're making great headway in our organization when it comes to campus. By the way, your schools are back in, like live classes. Fraternities and sororities are doing meetings. They're doing dances. They're doing parties. Like everything's back. Now, I know that over the past couple of years, school's been funky because of COVID, but I'm here to tell you from experience, you know, I was just at Ole Miss this past Monday with Cullen Patrick, and there was a lot of traffic. We took 15 applications at the table. He took another 15 applications from Google Forms. Like, he's got 5 in training this week from that campus table. Like, if you've got colleges in your territory, which most of you, if not all of you do, what are you doing to reach out? Well, I don't have access. Okay, well, go hang up some posters. Go shake some hands. Go to career services. Call Amanda June Sawani and, let's repair some relationships. Do they have an online job board? On Facebook, you can type in campus. In most of your larger colleges, you can get, if you have a student that goes there, you have to have a student email from that school, but they can post your Google Doc or whatever you want on there for free. And you'll take immediate applications from your campus. But campus does matter. And when I looked at our advertising stats divisionally in the fall, crushed the PR program, did good at social media, almost non-existent with campus. So we put that as more of a focus for this year, and we're really getting traction. Right now as a division, we have 22 campus tables lined up for the month of February. If you show up and there are students there, some people are going to be interested. And I hope you wrote this down. I'd write this down, all bold caps, underline it. All it takes is one. All it takes is one of the right people that can be your sales rabbit or can be your PR rabbit, and it changes the game. You just need one rabbit, one leader. Another thing that we're doing is we're doing high school drop-bys. We're doing this to warm up the summer. In the next 2 weeks, we're going and we're dropping by. This is every district office, our top 10 high schools in the territory. We ordered some CGA peelers. They're $6 each. Just email oleandp@cutco.com. And I'm prepared to hand out 3 or 4 peelers at every single school. I'm trying to butter them up. I am trying to bribe them. I am trying to make them like me. Yes, I am. And a Cutco peeler never hurt anybody. Here you go, senior guidance counselor. Here you go, principal. Here you go, vice principal. Oh, you look like you have some pull too. How about you have one? That way, if they say I can't do a table or can't do this, but I drop off my posters, hopefully they at least go, well, they did give us a peeler. We'll at least hang the posters. That's my hope, right? But we're going to drop by our top 10 high schools. Did you know that 60% of your high school seniors right now are 18 years or older? And that number just continues to go up each and every week, each and every month, as we're getting closer to the summer. So don't recruit scared. Like, go get your high school seniors, make sure they're 18, like follow the rules. But I'm telling you that these high school seniors, these are some of the best recruits out there. You all know that. You've all had these people. They sell a lot of Cutco. They're connected. They give the most PR names. But like, if you're not doing anything to go and get these recruits, you're just going to wait until June. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't do that. So number one is PR program, right? So here's what we do. Here's our PR program. So I didn't say, hey, this is yours. I said, this is ours. Our PR program is we collect names in day 2 training, right? And then we create our conveyor groups, and then we blast out the names on Sunday. After we blast out the names on Sunday, we have our staff call through the names on Monday. On Tuesday, we send out a second blast to all the names. Now, by the way, and Kathy would be able to tell you this, or I can get one of our guys to let you know if you're unsure, but on your conveyor, you just reset, edit the group and reset. It's like one little change. But when you're doing that second text, it only goes to people that did not respond. So it's not going to go to people who said, yeah, I'm interested. It's not going to go to the people who said stop. And by the way it's been working for us is our initial text blast. We book 50% of our PRs from that. 25% come from calling the names on Monday, and 25% come from the second blast. So if you think about that, if all you're doing is blasting the initial blast, well, you're only getting 50% of the PRs that are possible from that list. If you call through the names, and again, I get that some of you are veterans. I don't know that, Jacob and Cody in particular are going to grind through the PR list old school. If you want to, you can, and by the way, if you're willing to, you should. But if you are at a point where it's like, hey, that's just not something I'm going to do, well, then you do have to have either a paid caller or your staff. You have to have someone who will. Does that make sense? Like Colin Patrick, by the way, he rarely grinds through a PR list, but he's got a paid caller and he's got 4 assistant managers. So he's got 5 people on Monday that are calling through the names, and it makes a difference. And then again, Daniel Wright's been the best at this, and really everyone in the division now, but Daniel kind of got this going. But that second text, you'd be amazed at how many people, when you send that second text, you're like, oh, I thought this was just a robot, or I thought this was, scam. But when you send the second text, they realize, oh, this is somebody who's really trying to reach out to me. And you'll get a few of those people who ignored the first text, didn't answer the call, but then you get that second text, and you are going to have a handful of people who respond back that they're interested. So that's the PR program that we operate. Number 2, AM PRs and Team Builder Scholarship. The highest PPR recruits in the company for the past 5 years have been assistant manager PRs. So if you are not where you want to be right now, most of you, if not all of you, you have staffing, you have assistant managers. Well, that should be an expectation that if you're on staff, that you've got a PR. For my staff, for AMs and So Rod, we make it clear, hey, the expectation is that you have 3 PRs by the end of the campaign and that you're on the Team Builder Scholarship report. We talk about the Team Builder Scholarship in training, but we really hammer this every team meeting. Every team meeting, we have a section where we recognize any PRs that launched. We talk about social media. We'll get everybody to post a flyer on their Snapchat. We'll give them a $20 bonus if they screenshot it and send it to the manager. That gives them an incentive to do it. We let them know that'll be on the next week direct deposit, that kind of stuff, right? Okay, but it makes a difference to have them consistently posting. But what we're talking about, the whole thing is, hey, how quickly can you get to 3 PRs? How quickly can you compete in the Team Builder Scholarship? We do a deal where once they have 3 PRs, we let them pick out a pair of shades. They can get Costas, Ray-Bans, Maui Jim, whatever they want. It's like, hey, spring break's coming up. Summer's right around the corner. You need a new pair of shades, right? So at 3, you get a pair of shades, but most importantly, you get to compete in the Team Builder Scholarship competition. So there's 2 ways to make money at Cutco, and there's 2 ways to get experience. Number 1, obviously, sell the knives. But number 2 is build the team. At large corporations, medical sales, pharmaceutical sales, even insurance, there's a lot of companies. Like I know there's a medical sales company that if you recommend somebody and they get hired, you get a $10,000 bonus. So learning how to be a team builder at an early age, showing that you're likable, showing that you're a good recruiter, like this does help your resume. It also can impact you financially. For our assistant managers, another secret sauce, reason why I think we get so many AM PRs, we do old school. We give them a 2% commission override on any PRs that our AMs get in. So we'll do a 2% commission override, any personal PRs they get in. If they make a percentage off the office, it's on top of that. Like that makes a difference. Keep in mind, they can make
that. That's for their personal PRs, right? Not people they find on campus.
Not people they, well, I mean, it depends on the person. I mean, if they really impacted this sharp kid from campus, I mean, I'd probably give them credit, but ideally it's their personal PR. But if it's from somebody from social media, if they had heavy influence in getting that person from campus into the interview, et cetera, I mean, I don't see why it wouldn't count as their PR. Maybe not the 2%, but at least account for the PR and the Team Builder Scholarship. I mean, they did.
Right. That's what I was saying, the 2%.
Again, up to the manager, and depends on how much influence they brought. But that Team Builder Scholarship, you got to think about it. When I say your PR rabbit, who's somebody on your team right now that between now and Monday, you could have a conversation with them and you say, hey, we got to get you 3 PRs ASAP. we got to get you on this team builder scholarship list. Like if you go look at the past 6 team builder, Southwest region, team builder scholarship reports, you're going to see So Rock all over it. Well, that's not an accident. We talk about it nonstop. And once we get people on the team builder scholarship report, like we're beating that drum. You know, this past summer in our pilot, we had a guy, Lee Baker. Lee Baker got 7 PRs. Those 7 PRs sold $100,000. That doesn't count the PRs that we got from those PRs. Like this guy was responsible, if you really look at the whole trickle down, for about $250,000 of our 575 that we did for the summer. That's what I mean by a PR rabbit. He was number 2 in the national team builder. He was number 1 in the Southwest region team builder. Then brand new district manager, Elijah Bray. This fall, he got a girl, Kirsten Darrow. She was top 5 national team builder. I believe number 2 in the Southwest region team builder. And she won an All-American scholarship. So she was the sales rabbit and the PR rabbit. You know, his office did $60,000 for the fall. She was responsible for $45K of $60K. When I said all it takes is one, like that's a great example. That's a great point. But you know what? He made really good money. He had double monthly bonus in the fall. Like you produce $60K plus all new business in the fall. Like this guy saved over $5,000 in the fall on that type of volume. So that matters. Number 3, full staff. Full staff. On staff equals retention. Don't wait for somebody to get to 6K. Don't wait for somebody to get to 10K to be on staff. I think it's appropriate if somebody hits their first promotion, their first weekend, I think it's appropriate to talk to them about being on staff on day 4 of their fast start. Hey, Molly, look, this is the first week in PDI example. Hey, Molly, look, tell you what, you're doing a great job. Look, if you get to your first promotion this weekend, like, don't be surprised if Monday, if I call you and set up a one-on-one meeting and I want to talk to you about possibly being on our staff. Now, look, I don't want to freak you out, okay? Because I know you've worked here for what, a day, right? But I just want you to know that I really like you. I think you've got a lot of natural ability. And so I would be talking to you about being on staff, not based on what you've done, but really based on what I think you can do. So you kind of frame in why you're having that conversation, but who's not going to be excited to talk about being an assistant manager, to move up, to get a promotion? Like 99% of people that you launch are going to be excited about that conversation. So when it comes to staffing, you need a right-hand person that you can lock arms with and partner with. You need a left-hand person. That's the 1-2 punch. And then you need some assistant managers up under them. Now, you know, Lloyd Reagan, he's famous for 7 on staff. I believe in that. Our pilot has 7 on staff. And it's working. I've got my Dom, I've got my sales manager. So that's the right hand, that's the left hand. And then I've got 5 other ASMs, assistant sales managers, up under them. And these 5 people, by the way, they only work 1/2 day a week. They only book 5 PRs or social media each week. And then they need to be a sales leader. They attend our team meeting and staff meeting, and they're active in the group meet. That's it. But by the way, 7 times anything is a lot. So if you're a one-man or a one-woman show, or it's just you and one other person, like, I'm sorry, you're just not going to be able to scale this thing very big if that's your operation. Like, if you don't believe me, go to Chick-fil-A or go to McDonald's at lunchtime, like noon, and like go inside and watch. I promise you it's not 2 people. You got somebody on the fries. You got somebody on the buns. You got somebody on the burgers. You got 2 people at the drive-through window. You got 2 people at the checkout station. I mean, you've typically got 8 to 15 people that are there operating. Why? Because they run a big business. So are you running a snow cone stand? That's you and maybe one other person. What flavor would you like? Or are you operating a big business? To operate a big business, you have to have partners. You have to have helpers. But remember, your staff, when you get people on staff, that equals retention. Your staff don't quit. You see, it's easy to quit a job. It's hard to quit a relationship. And you're going to build a relationship with your staff. Number 4, big fast start. The key to a big fast start, it starts with the first weekend. So making sure that they're seeing, like, ask yourself these questions. Do you have people check out with you on day 1 at the end when they book their demos? Do they tell you who their demos are with? Do you make sure that first demo is with somebody they're going to make a sale to? Or are you just rolling the dice and hoping it's a qualified person? Like, I like to ask them, it's like, hey, Cody, look, who's your first demo going to be with? Oh, it's going to be with Mom. That's awesome. Now, look, does Mom love you? Oh, she does. That's good. And if we like cut Mom's finger off with the trimmer, she'd still probably get something. She would. Okay, cool. That's who I want you seeing for your first demo. Whereas, if Stephanie is like, hey, who's your first demo with? Oh, it's with my neighbor. Oh, cool. Tell me about your neighbor. Oh, well, he loves to cook. Oh, I noticed you said he. Is he married? Oh, no, he's not. Oh, okay. What's he do for a living? Oh, he's the assistant manager at Home Depot. Oh, okay. And like on a 1 to 10, like 1 being low, 10 being high, what do you think the odds that, he's going to buy at least something? I don't know, like 3 or 4. Oh, okay. We're not going to show him for our first demo. Okay. Because your first demo is all about confidence. And so our first demo needs to be with somebody that is going to get something. Now, who do you have on your list that you feel confident, like 9 or 10, like they're going to get something? Well, I know that my sister, now is she married? She is. What's her husband do? Oh, he's a manager at FedEx. Okay. What does she do? She's a housewife. Wow. Okay. Hey, that's who we're going to show for our first demo. Okay. Because your first demo is going to be a little shaky. It's going to be a little rough. But even though it's going to be shaky and rough, like, I still want you to build your confidence. I want you to make your first sale. Like, this first demo is all about confidence. Ladies and gentlemen, go look at the stats. Like, if they have a no sale on their first demo, it's a 90% chance they never sell anything. But it flips if on their first demo, they make a sale. When they make a sale, you praise them, they get excited. Now they have confidence. It's a domino effect one way or the other. So one key to first weekend pop is you have to really make sure their first demo is with somebody that they feel almost 100% confident that they're going to buy at least something. Does that make sense so far? Head nod, thumbs up. And then you build on that. Right. And here's the other thing. In day 2 training, when they do, this is what we do at the end of day 2 training. We do a day 2 phone jam. We put them in breakout rooms. And then it's the district manager and the sales manager go into these breakout rooms while they're making calls one-on-one. And we do old school day 2 PCs. Like, you wonder why our PPR is what it is. Like, it's because of these things. Okay. And so what we do is we qualify every demo. And here's how you do it, just real quick. Like, hey, Kathy, tell me about this customer. Do you think they're going to buy a big set, small set, pieces, or nothing? That's what you ask. You're setting expectations. Big set, small set, pieces, or nothing. And then they're going to go, I think they're probably going to buy pieces. Oh, cool. Tell me about this person. Like, what do they do? Well, the husband's a doctor, and, the wife, she's a surgeon, and, oh, and you think they're going to buy pieces? Well, yeah, they don't cook a lot. Yeah, but hey, Kathy, listen, if I did a demo with this customer, they'd buy an ultimate. You know why? Like, they might not cook, but they do like nice things. Well, yeah, they do like nice things. Yeah. And, they probably cook sometimes. They definitely entertain sometimes. And hey, here's the number one point. They can definitely afford the ultimate. So I think you should go into this demo, thinking like, hey, what color block do you think they'd get? The cherry or the honey oak? I don't know. What color handles do you think they'd get? Like, you start dreaming with them. And it's so funny when you do this and you set the expectation. Yeah, if I did this demo, I think I'd sell them a ultimate with white handles, cherry block. We'd probably give them the kitchen tools and the entertainer pack for free. But hey, if that doesn't happen, no big deal. I really think you can sell a set. All right, cool. Tell me about your next one. So you qualify the demos, but they're so funny. They'll call you from that demo. Hey, they're looking at the ultimate. They really like the white handles. I think they're going to get the cherry block. And you said the kitchen tools and entertainer pack for free. Okay, cool. Like, you basically tell them what they're going to sell to every customer, because little Johnny doesn't have the right expectations. Little Johnny's like, oh yeah, I think I'm going to sell him a hunting knife. And it's like, yeah, what did I teach you about the hunting knife in training? Oh, not a damn thing. So let's sell them some kitchen knives and give the hunting knife for free, right? You have to set the right expectations. So big, fast start, get them to the team meeting, get them to advanced training. That's that. Point 5, recruit the right people. That's our bread and butter in So Rock. You come to our team meeting, they're all pretty. They're all sharp, because that's who we recruit and that's who we focus on. And that's another reason why our PPR is high. Go look at our web. I get that there's exceptions to the rule. I get that. But I'm telling you who sells the damn knives. It's high school seniors, it's college students, it's people that went to your top 10 high schools. That's where they graduated from, or they go to a good college. Like, look, do we sell a cheap product or an expensive product? I think Cutco's expensive. By the way, if you want to know if you're recruiting the right people or not, do some Zillow. You getting ready to launch them? Zillow, 100K house, you better be good at teaching them wish list and how to sell preferred customer clothes and how to drop down, because birds of a feather do flock together. And that's a fact. If this offends you or you don't believe in this or that, well, cool, you're wrong. At the end of the day, qualified reps have qualified customers. By the way, you don't have to be a great trainer to get wealthy kids to sell knives. Everybody that they go and show is qualified, and guess what? They want to help them. And you know what they do? They buy the shit out of Cutco. You go look at all the 10K fast starters that the companies had, and you go Zillow that house, or you go look at their connections, or where they graduated high school, or where they go to college, 90% bucks. That's how it is. So I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm telling you direct. Go get the right kids. I'm trying to be clear on who the right kids are. Go get the right people. You need sharp people to sell a high quality product. By the way, when you go get the right people, guess what? They're going to refer you to other friends just like them. Birds of a feather do flock together. 190 PPR, that means web recruits. That means Craigslist. That is what that means. That's not PRs of sharp kids from your best schools. There's no way you have 190 PPR and you recruit sharp kids. Zero chance. It's not a training issue. It's not a territory issue. It's a you're recruiting the wrong people issue. Does that make sense? Head nod, thumbs up. Go get the sharp kids. That's why you got to go do your high school drop-bys. That's why you got to go get on campus. That's why I got to dig through our old PR list and call the names of the sharp kids that you did have this summer or you did have this fall. All it takes is one to start the fire. Once you start the fire, add gas. But right now, you have to get out the sticks. You got to whittle them. You got to get some smoke. You got to blow on it. Get the fire burning. Pour gas. Boom. All of a sudden, you're going. But all it takes is one. Number 6, 80-20 rule. How many reps can you get to 6K plus in career sales and carry them into the summer? If you want to have a massive new business summer, try to have 10 or more reps over $6,000 in career sales that you've recruited from the fall and the spring. I'm not talking about your CSPs or your FSMs. I'm talking about people that you recruited recently in the fall or the spring. Could you get 10 over 6K that you carry into the summer? Most of those will probably be on your staff. Most of them will probably be your summer staff, but it's 80-20 rule. You see, your top 20% will do 80% of your business, always. But we need the other 80% that are going to do the other 20%, right? But remember the 80-20 rule. Number 7, consistency in recruiting. You need to launch 2 to 4 3-stars a week in the non-summer. In the summer, obviously, that you should think much larger. But in the non-summer, like in our pilot, look, we're only going to launch a couple this week, but hey, they're the right people. And you launch 2 people and we get 1 to 3 grand, another to 2 grand. I mean, hey, that's 5,000 CPO first weekend. Well, I've seen people launch 10 and sell 1,000. Like at the end of the day, it's like, are we trying to make recruiting bonuses, $25 rebates? Or are we trying to, make new business and, monthly bonus and super bonus, right? Like that's how those things happen. But it's 2 to 4 of the right people every week. Kellen Patrick this week, he's got 5 that he'll put out the door, but they're all 3-stars. He had a guy last week, by the way, $7,500 first weekend. This guy did a TED talk his senior year of high school. The right people, right? So when you get the right people, you get sharp people, you get big numbers. Number 8, DM leads from the front. I do think that it starts with you. I think that you should be booking 10 to 15 3-stars every week, whether that's from your conveyor blast or from the second blast or from picking up the phone and making calls. But that is one thing that our organization does. If you go dig into the Vector Live stats, you're going to see that our DM team, my Dom, like they are proactively, they are hunting for the blue chip recruits. That's their job. Like Hayden Town, I tell him, it's like, look, you're like Nick Saban. Go get us the blue chips. Okay, go get us the killers. That is your job. Take out your sniper rifle. If you've been shooting a shotgun with some buckshot, hey, that doesn't work. You got to take the sniper rifle out and go, okay, what's my number 1 private high school? Do I have a senior that's 18 on my team right now from that school? If not, why not? When are you going to go get that person? Because guess what? They're going to rip it. They're going to have a big fast start. And they're going to give you PR names and boom, they're going to be asking you to speak on region calls. They're going to ask you, what are you doing? And then you can go tell them all this same stuff. Number 9, follow a schedule and have a strong work ethic. We live now where a lot of us work from home. But if you work from home, you still need to have real hours, office hours, and we don't need to get distracted by TV or social media or personal things. Like we need to work. We need to go to work every single day. And we need to get our job done every day. And once the job's done, then go play. But let's not take the flexibility for granted. Let's not put in 2 or 3 hours of work a day and think that that's going to lead to big success. It's not. You're not that talented. Hey, I'm not that talented. Like we got to put in a full-time work ethic. This is a full-time job. Number 10, last one, quality time with your leaders, your top 20%. Again, we work in a virtual world, but make sure you're taking people to breakfast. You're taking people to lunch. You're doing some contests where they can do dinner. Could you do a team night once a month where your local reps, y'all go bowling, even if some of your team's not local, that's okay. But, do events because again, people quit jobs, but people don't quit relationships. It's way harder to quit a relationship than a job. And I do think that this is a relationship business. All right, last few things. Themes that we have in our organization, to be a part of the Southern Rock division as a sales rep, there are two minimum expectations. Number one, be at the team meeting every week. And number two, be on the board every week. You see, when you recruit the right people, they don't need the money. You have a lot of people that do this job because they like being a part of the team. They like the culture. They like the atmosphere. They like the personal growth. They like the resume experience. And they like to make some extra money. But if you're only focused on recruiting people that are just motivated by money, you're not going to get the right people, because the right people care more about personal growth and resume experience and flexibility than the money. So if you've been pushing money, well, that's not how you get the right people. Mommy and daddy already gave them the money. So now they like to make their own money. Don't get me wrong. And by the way, they do make a lot of money because they're connected to the right people. So they like the money, but that's not the real motivator. It's the personal growth. It's the resume experience. So it's a promotion of be at the meeting, be on the board. And every team meeting, we do this. And it's like, hey, look, reminder, 2 requirements. Be at the meeting. Hey, you're already here tonight. Check that off the list. Be on the board. All of our assistant managers in SoRock, they know it's an expectation. They cannot have a 0 week. So 2 weeks ago, my assistant manager team, I had 5 SAMs. Now look, they haven't been doing as good as they could in sales leadership, but I said, hey, the minimum thing you can buy that counts is a small cutting board. Now you'll still get credit for the demo and all that kind of stuff, but you know, at the end of the day, we're not going to be on staff and sell 0. So I had 5 assistant managers that bought cutting boards. And I was like, hey, if you want to stack up 18 cutting boards this campaign, cool, do it. You know, get different colors, right? It look like Christmas. But the reality is, you know, they're going to get tired of buying cutting boards. We're already seeing the effects from it because they'd rather make some calls, do some demos, and make a real sale and not have to do that. Same thing on the team. I let them know as an active rep, if you have a week where you sell 0, I'll give you a free pass. But 2 weeks in a row with 0 is not acceptable. You're going to be removed from the team. You have to produce in a sales job. If you sold insurance or medical sales or pharmaceutical sales, and in a week you said, yeah, I produced 0, guess what would happen? You're fired. So I don't want anyone to learn the wrong habits or expectations on my watch under Cutco. They need to understand if you're on a sales team that you're going to produce. And if you have a week where you sell 0, we're not going to have 2 weeks in a row at 0. Even if that means you need to buy a cutting board to avoid the chopping block, then so be it. But you're going to produce if you're going to be on the team. You see, I don't want a team of 25 reps and 5 are on the board. I'd rather have a team of 10 reps that are all fired up, working hard, and they're producing. So some of you may need to cut the fat over the next week or 2. You may have some people that have been lingering in your group me. You know what? 2 weeks in a row, 0, my group me, they're out of here. They're not on the team. By the way, speaking of group me, I think your group me culture matters. You know, if you don't have an office group me, then make a new one. It really matters, especially in this virtual world. So the group me's that our division has. So there's the Arkansas takeover. And that is Evan Robinson and Rose Robinson. They're in a group me together. I do think teaming up in some group me's can be really healthy, by the way, especially if you have a small team. If you have a team of less than 10 reps, you ought to get you and a few managers together and team up. And that way there's more recognition. There's more camaraderie. I think the bigger the team, the better. All right. But so there's 2 there. The SIP squad, that's Cullen's team. Now he's got 25 active reps, so he's got his own. Our pilot, we've got about 20 active reps. We have our own. In North Alabama, that's Daniel Wright. It's his office, Elijah Bray, Charity Campbell, and Brandon Glasser. It's 4 offices teamed up together, but there are more posts. There's more recognition in that group me than any of the others. So having a group me, and what we do, and this is every single week, this goes back to programs and systems. So every single week on Tuesday, we're going to do recognition where it's like, hey, great job last week, X amount in sales, props to everyone props to everyone who contributed. Okay. And then what we do is we have 3 categories: role player, starters, leaders. Role players, that's everyone who got on the board, but we're under 500 CPO. Starters, that's people that are 500 and 999 for the week. And leaders is 1,000 and more. And what we do is we'll go, hey, props everyone who contributed. Role players, tag everyone in the group me. Okay, then we go starters, tag them, but we tag them and put their CPO total if they're over 500. And then leaders, we tag them and put their CPO total over 1,000. The next post that we make after that, we always do a GIF, and it's a theme for the week. And we do like Denzel Washington, Jim Carrey. Right now it's NFL playoffs. Okay, so you can only post a GIF of somebody from the Chiefs, the Bengals, the Rams, or the 49ers. It's lit in our group me right now. All right. We got, Tyreek Hill shaking it in there. We got Travis Kelce doing dances in there. We got Matt Stafford, saying, let's go. Like it's pretty cool. And so, but we've got the theme of the week, and there will be a GIF saying what the theme is. And we do reminder, team meeting tomorrow. And then here's the key to this though. Hey, post your demo and CPO goals below ASAP. So every Tuesday, every rep in the division, they post their demo and CPO goal for the week. And the minimum goal that we allow anyone to post is 3 for 500. We don't have anybody posting 1 for 200 or anything lame. Say we promote, hey, look, if you're doing this job, there shouldn't be a week where you do less than 3 demos. Hey, if we don't have 5 hours a week to put into the job, maybe we shouldn't do the job. Right? So it's 3 for 500, 5 for 1K, 7 for 2K. Sometimes we have our fast starters thinking bigger, like 10 for 3K or 15 for 5K, et cetera. You can kind of coach them, especially your new reps, on, hey, post this as your goal. Like you just tell them what to do. Now, once they've been around for a few weeks, they'll know what to do. And then we hold them accountable to their goals. So for example, it's like on Web PDI, we've got on here, I don't know if y'all heard, Ben Cunningham had his largest order of his career yesterday, 34,000 CPO. That's kind of cool. But we have our teams here, and then they have their demo and their CPO goal. These were all posted in GroupMe. So then when we PDI our reps, what we're doing is we're just holding them accountable to that demo and CPO goal number. Does that make sense? What we're doing there? So that really does make a big difference when it comes to your PDI and holding them accountable to what they're trying to get accomplished. All right, so that's the recognition in the GroupMe. As they're making sales, they're posting. Our assistant managers, we're telling them, hey, make sure that you're liking all that kind of stuff. Another thing that I think makes a difference at our team meeting, when we're recognizing PRs in social media, as I mentioned before, we have them post on their Snapchat story. We have a flyer that we create. They put your Google form link on there. That creates 5 to 10 applications each week right after the team meeting, layup applications. In day 2 training, after we do PR name collection, we ask them to post a flyer on their Snapchat. So there's an incentive. You can do some extra credit, bonus, whatever you want to do there. That'll create another 5 to 10 applications over the weekend that are layups. And then I think most of you are familiar with the Snapchat program. And so when it comes to the Snapchat program, and this is a real deal, where you're sitting down with somebody one-on-one, you're pitching them on, they've got a message, they're going to copy paste along with a flyer, and they're going to send it to basically every single friend they have in their contact. That's the real Snapchat program. And you can give them more fast start prizes, bonus, again, whatever you're excited about doing. But we do our very best every week to identify one person from the team that can get PC'd and can do the Snap program. And if they do this the right way, it's going to generate anywhere from 10 to 50 applications. So like we did this with Mackenzie Johns this past week, and it generated 30 applications. Like, it really does help. Now, keep in mind, your social media apps and touches in most cases are going to be less efficient in terms of show to interview, show to train and launch, because not as much social proof. So it's PR program, social media is 2, and then campus would be 3. And then the last thing that I do think is some secret sauce at our team meeting, the beginning of the meeting, our team meetings usually last about an hour and 15 minutes. And, you know, an example of a team meeting. So I'll just go back to my notes from the team meetings a few weeks ago. So we share goals and we do phone jam signups. That's the first 30 minutes of the team meeting. I'm going to elaborate on that in just a moment. I know Stacy Campbell mentioned this at his region kickoff message. He and I had a call and I shared this with him. I'll do an opening comments that usually last about 5 minutes. So for example, hey, week 3 of 2022, 8K gets you President's Club, 20K you're competing for an All-American. How quickly can you get to 3 PRs? Hey, could you be on staff this spring or summer? Hey, school starting back, work smart, not hard. And then we did a quick little run through of 168 hours in a week, time management, because everybody was starting school back. Then, you know, we do a Hollywood lesson. We pick a clip from YouTube based on the theme of the week. And so this one was Tom Brady, Grit, Growth, and Glory. It was 2 minutes. But the lesson was, you'll never have substance without struggle. You'll never have destiny without disappointment. If you don't break, you'll never experience a breakthrough. Grit, growth, and then glory. The order matters, as an example. Then we do a 10-minute message to try to get them better at the job. We give some content. And this was building your names list, mission 100. So we gave a message on the names list. Then we take 5 minutes to do PR and social media recognition. That's when we get them to post on Snapchat. Then we do sales recognition. So every manager pulls up their group me that recognize sales, and we recognize publicly role players, make them feel good, starters, make them feel even better, leaders, sing it to the mountaintop, praise what you want to see repeated. And then we dismiss with a little team chant. And that is the team meeting. But that first 30 minutes that I'm talking about, what we do is this. If this was the team meeting, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the meeting. Mark Bullard here. Super excited to have you. First thing we're going to do is called lightning. And the reason we call it lightning, quick update. Okay, you need to give a quick, confident update. Don't use words like probably, hope, maybe. Yoda says, do or do not. There is no try, right? Okay, so you're going to share your demo and CPO goal. If you're already on the board for the week, share your approximate CPO for the week so far. By the way, I'd love for everybody to get in the habit of show up to the team meeting already on the board. All right, get your week off to a good start. So let's work on creating that habit and that culture. And then you're going to sign up for 2 phone jams, right? You're going to sign up for 1 personal phone jam and 1 Zoom phone jam, 1 team phone jam. Our team phone jams, we have 1 tonight right after the meeting. Cullen Patrick runs that. We have 1 tomorrow night at 6:30. Charity Campbell leads that one. And then we've got 1 Sunday at 2 p.m. Evan Robinson leads that. Okay. Now your personal phone jam, it can be anytime tomorrow or Friday. It needs to be Thursday or Friday, but anytime that works for you. Now on your personal phone jam, we do ask that you text your manager whenever you're starting your calls. Hey, I'm starting my calls. And then you post your demo days and times in GroupMe after. That way we know that you did your phone calls, okay? All right, let me give a quick example. So, hey, my goal is 5 for 1,000. I'm already at 88 CPO for the week. I'm gonna do a personal phone jam tomorrow at noon, and I'm gonna do the division phone jam tomorrow night at 6:30. All right, awesome. All right, cool. Kathy, you're gonna kick us off first. All right, go ahead. And then you go around the horn. And if somebody, you know, well, probably, no, probably, try again, Kathy, right? And we make sure they know that when they're given their goals and they're signing up for phone jams, that they're doing that confidently. And now we do divisional team meetings, just so you know, like I'll run the meeting and we have all the managers on, all the reps on. So like last night we had 45 people, or excuse me, I guess this was Wednesday night, 2 nights ago, we had 45 people at the meeting. Now, 8 were managers. So we had what is that, 37-ish reps that were participating. Now, Cullen Patrick, he's got a big enough team. He just runs his own team meeting. He joins us about once a month. So again, I think you could do this to where a couple of you could pair up and run joint team meetings. Would be a cool idea. Again, y'all can talk to Kathy about how y'all want to implement this, but the neat thing about bringing everybody together is they see that the team is bigger. There's more recognition, but the secret sauce is getting them to publicly share their goals and to sign up for 2 phone jams. It's forced accountability to where demos are getting booked every single week. And I think that makes a difference. So I'm out of time. So what I'm going to do at this point is, again, if y'all have any quick questions, comments, feel free. But Kathy, thank you for allowing me to take just a few minutes to speak to this talented division. GCK has, really just a legacy of winning and championship mentality, work ethic. And, look, here's the last reminder I'd say is that it's January week 5. And it's only the first month out of the year. And there's so much in front of you. So if you're not where you want to be right now, you can change that with one good training class. And the big theme we promoted all year last year, and we're continuing to promote this year, is layers and leaders. Every week, can you add a new layer? And every week, can we develop people into leaders? So that's what I've got. And again, Kathy, I really appreciate you allowing me to.
Yeah, I mean, I gave you actually till 11:30. You didn't know that, but we're good. I figured you'd start rolling. So we've got 10 minutes. So first off, thank you. Like, just, even for me listening to you at the DVM meeting last week, hearing you again today, like, just the passion, the excitement, the focus, right? Like, these last 2 years, I feel like have dimmed that for me so much. And I really needed last week's meeting. It was phenomenal. And thank you for delivering to my people here. Just a lot of great stuff. I'd love, just anything that was helpful, you guys can throw it in the chat. Anyone have any questions while we have Mark on? Anything, whether it's a question or just something you want him to expand more on? Just tell me.
Sorry. Team meeting. So is he running a phone jam at the team meeting as well? Or
So the division phone jam, they have 3 options. They could do one right after the team meeting, or Thursday night, or Sunday. Now, the one Sunday, even if someone doesn't sign up for the Sunday phone jam, another culture that we promote is that if you're at 0 CPO for the week, as of Sunday, 1 p.m., then it's an expectation that you jump on the Sunday phone jam. We called the Sunday phone jam an emergency phone jam, because if you're at 0 on Sunday, like, we have to get on the phones. We've got to get a demo or 2 for Sunday night or for Monday. Like, hey, we have to do whatever it takes to not have a 0 week. So again, you can probably tell that our culture and expectation is like, hey, you don't sell 0 in a week. Like, that's like one of the worst things you can do, is have a week where you produce 0 results. You got 168 hours in a week. I probably mention 168 hours in a week every week, just as a reminder, because you got these people that are really busy. And I really shine spotlight on people that are busy. Like, for example, Kirsten Deere, I'm like, hey, she's a full-time college student. She's taking 15 hours. She's a D1 college softball player. And yet she's still doing 5 demos a week. She's still averaging $1,000 a week. So I get some of you are busy, but here's the reality. Are you going to be busier now as a college student, or after college when you graduate and you get married and you have kids and you have a career? Well, hey, I've got news for you. You're going to be busier. So you've got to learn time management now, or the real world is going to eat you up and spit you out. So there's a heavy focus of, you do have the time, but you have to make Cutco a priority. Doesn't have to be your top priority, but it does have to be a priority. All right, what else?
What else?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mark. I love the group meet culture. I love that lightning thing that you do at team meeting. I think that just kind of sparks like fun, and you obviously have like the people you might have prepped. Like, because I'm trying to think of, okay, we do things one way now. Like, how do we make this transition to what all these amazing like things that you guys do? And so I think like I guess this is kind of, I'm leading this into a question. How would you go with the transition of the team meeting and the group meeting? Like, would you kind of have like in my next staff meeting, have my staff sit down and be like, okay, this is what we're going to go over, and like have them lead it of like, hey, I'm going to call on my my 6 staff members, and they're going to say like their goals, and then like birds of.
I think you're spot on with your thinking there. Yeah. And I think you jump right in though. And just to the team, it's like, hey, look, we're about to do things a little differently. Think you're going to love it. I wouldn't say things like, hey, we've been sucking or we're not doing good. Like, even if that's the case, like no one likes to hear that. Right. Okay. So it's just like, hey, look, we're a championship team. Hey, you speak it into existence. Hey, we're GCK, we're a championship team. And look, we're about to take things to the next level. So we're going to shake it up a little bit. And hey, this week's team meeting and future meetings, this is what's going to happen. We're going to do something called lightning. Here's how it works. Tell them how it goes. And then the first few people that you want to call on should have already been prepped. Does that make sense? And that way they get it. And then you keep going, and you're gonna, the first few weeks, you're gonna have that person. Well, I'm busy, and hey, look, Molly, look, not trying to be ugly. This is lightning. I don't need the whole story. We can follow up after for the story. I need your demo and CPO goal and the 2 phone jams you're gonna sign up for. Okay. All right, 3 for 500. Got it. Your personal phone jam is gonna be Friday at 8 a.m. Awesome. I like that. And you're gonna do the Sunday phone jam at 2 o'clock. Hey, that's perfect. Hey, great job, Molly. All right, Jacob, you're next. And that's how you do that. So after someone gives their updates, like, hey, great job. If someone did really well or they're on the board for the week, I'm like, hey, Claudia, great job already being on the board for the week. That's fired up. And I love that you're doing 2 Zoom phone jams. You're doing the Thursday and the Sunday. You are cooking. So great job, Claudia. All right, Michael, you're next. Okay. And then you just go around the horn is how that works. And look, we typically have between 40 to 50 on our team meetings each week. And for that many people, it takes about 30 minutes just to give you an idea. So it's roughly 30 to 50 seconds a person is kind of how you can factor from a time perspective.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mark. And then one thing about the high school campus drop-bys. So when you're doing that, because I didn't really do that last year because with COVID, and I just, didn't make it a priority. And I'm really going to make it a priority with myself and my branches going into the summer. Do you just follow like the campus document stuff? Is that kind of how the peelers?
Yeah, it's really simple. All right. One thing I would recommend is order some CGA peelers. That way you can give some free Cutco to the counselor and the principal, and, free Cutco never hurt anyone, and it's $6 per, right? So, I would recommend that. Come armed with peelers. And then I would have just 4 posters. And these are posters you've ordered from L&D, or if you haven't done that yet, like make something on Canva and, go to your Office Depot and get it printed on some cardstock, and that works too, right? But, have some posters that you can drop off. So what we do when we do our high school drop-bys is we'll go, usually there's a thing you have to ring in. Hey, we're with Cutco, just dropping off some literature. Okay, they'll let us in. Okay, make sure you're dressed professionally. I'd go sport coat and button up. Okay, have some peelers in your pocket, have your 4 posters. And hey, I'm looking for the senior guidance counselor. Oh, she's right over here. He's right over there. They'll guide you there. Hey, Mark Bullard, I'm with Cutco. Are you familiar? They're either yes or no. Okay, well, we work with students and, seniors. So look, just wanted to drop off some posters that you guys can put up in appropriate places. Also brought a little happy for you. Here's a Cutco veggie peeler. It's awesome. And wanted to see, what other options do we have to get the word out to your seniors? Some schools let us do a lunch wave meeting. Some schools have the ability to do like a text blast to all the seniors. So, what are some other ways that we could get the word out? And then some schools are like, well, I don't know, let me ask. And some schools are like, oh, well, we can set up a table and have your calendar ready. Go ahead and book your tables now, right? Like we're trying to do a table in February and in April, right? Would be the goal. And then, I'll tell you what's real powerful though. A lot of these schools do this mass text to the seniors. Like they have this platform where they can text everybody. And if they'll do a text blast, you'll get more applications from that than anything else, even more than doing a table. And then obviously if they'll hang up the posters, you'll get a handful of applications that way. But it's more so dropping in, being confident, introducing yourself and seeing what options you have to be able to let them know that we have work available for the seniors.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And then would you recommend obviously taking your development in your branches with you as well for this, or just?
I think if you're going to take anyone, I would take one person. I wouldn't walk in with an army.
Yeah, I didn't want to overwhelm them.
Right. Yeah. So you and one other person is good. They need to be dressed sharp too, looking good. Let them know to defer questions, obviously, to you. But yeah, one other person I think is appropriate, but no more than one.
Someone that went to that high school.
Very cool. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Go ahead. One last question.
So with the way you set up your team meeting and scheduling the phone times like prior and then like having the option to do a phone time after, I kind of do that during like my PCs for the week, like weekly PCs. How do you structure your weekly PCs on like agenda wise?
Yeah, so we do PCs as well. Our PCs typically are either Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, some Friday, depending on their schedule. Our PC focus is to go over their schedule. It's to check their names list. We want to know how many names and numbers they have that they can call. The number one reason why reps quit the job is they don't have people to call. So being in the know of their names, that's a big focus for our PCs. And then after that, we'll teach them one skill. Hey, what do we need to work on? Michael, do you think that, we need to work on the phones? So booking more demos. Do we need to work on your names list, like getting more referrals, expanding your original list? Or would you say, closing sales, working on average order size, closing percentage? So it's phone, Recs, closing, right? The three pillars of the business. And then we'll pick one thing. We'll spend about 10 minutes, and then we usually also send them some kind of YouTube video that is under that banner or that topic. And then the last thing that we do is we would get them on the phones. So, and we always have them book 2 demos at the end of the PC. So now that's different than the other phone jam. We promote that you should be doing 3 phone jams a week. We get them to sign up for 2 at the team meeting. And then if you have a PC set with them, well, that could be the 3rd phone jam. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yeah. So, and then just to kind of verify, like the team meeting, when you go around the horn, is that just for like recognizing and like just having people say it just to build it?
Well, I think there's a lot of power in them publicly sharing their goals. It also gives everyone at the team meeting an opportunity for their voice to be heard. It also makes people show up to the team meeting on time because they know that they're going to get called on. I think that matters.
Mm-hmm.
And I only call on them. We make the expectation, like if you're in a meeting, you're on video start to finish. So like I see some of you don't have your videos on, like you wouldn't be in my meeting. No offense. But like, if we're at a meeting, then you turn your camera on, start to finish, always. No one shows up to my meetings with their camera off. So.
He's like, I'm sitting here, I swear.
Hey, I feel you, but hey, looks way sharper when I can see the video. It's a sharp guy. Corey,
They're all here. They're all here.
I know.
Hey,
I'm just making a point. Hey, by the way, it
Always.
looks way better when everybody's on.
Or you're not
Awesome.
there.
Thank
I
you so
started
much.
Meeting with it on. I don't know how it turned out.
That's awesome.
I haven't-
All right. Well, hey, I'm gonna jump. Again, Kathy, I thoroughly enjoyed this.
Yeah.
GCK, let's kick